Hey, David, can we talk about meeting my parents this weekend to announce our engagement? There's something I need to tell you.
Of course. When you get all serious like that, makes me nervous.
Actually, I've been putting off this conversation for days. I just didn't know how to bring it up.
Now you're really making me nervous. Is everything okay?
Yes, well, mostly. It's about my family situation.
Take your time. I'm here to listen.
Well, thanks. That means a lot. You're always so patient. That's actually part of what worries me.
What do you mean?
My dad, he's not exactly a patient person, or understanding, or, well, nice.
Oh, is he really strict? Am I going to get the whole "you're not worthy of my daughter" speech?
I wish it was just that. He goes way beyond the typical protective father act.
How so?
Remember when I mentioned my cousin Amy got engaged last month?
Yeah, you seem worried about her engagement dinner. Did something happen?
It was a disaster, a complete disaster. Her fiancé, James, he's this really successful software engineer.
That sounds good, though? Most parents would love that.
You'd think so, but Dad, he made James cry during dinner.
What? How do you manage that? Was your cousin's fiancé particularly sensitive?
Not at all. James runs his own tech startup. He's usually super confident in business meetings and presentations.
Then what happened?
Dad spent 2 hours picking apart everything about him. Said his posture showed weakness, criticized his wine choice as cheap, even though it was a 30,000 yen bottle.
2 hours? That's intense. Does he do this to everyone?
The lucky ones get the full treatment. Others he just dismisses immediately as unworthy.
What exactly makes someone worthy in his eyes?
His standards are impossible. You have to be this perfect combination of traditional success and masculine authority, like some character from an old business manga.
That doesn't sound promising. I mean, I like my work, but personal life comes first for me.
Yeah, about that. Maybe don't mention that you do most of the cooking.
Will he yell at you for letting a man do woman's work or something?
Exactly that, word for word. That's what he told Amy about James helping with housework.
Wow, he really is stuck in another era.
Try the Stone Age. But don't worry, I'm used to his difficult personality. I can handle whatever he says.
That's good then. At least one of us knows how to deal with him.
Just, please don't feel too hurt by anything he says. I know you'll try to be polite and won't talk back when he's rude to you.
Well, he is my future father-in-law after all. I should show some respect.
That's exactly why I'm worried. He sees politeness as weakness. He'll probably take advantage of your good manners.
Has he always been like this? Even when you were growing up?
Always. Mom used to try to stop him, but she gave up years ago. It's exhausting dealing with him.
What about your mom? How did she handle it all these years?
She just retreated into herself, stopped arguing, stopped having opinions. It breaks my heart seeing her like that.
That sounds really tough for both of you.
It was. Still is. Sometimes I feel guilty for not standing up to him more.
Hey, don't blame yourself. You were a kid. It wasn't your responsibility to fix your parents' relationship.
I know, but seeing Mom so defeated all the time.
We'll make sure to show her extra love and support, okay?
That's why I love you. You always know exactly what to say.
I see. Thanks for the warning concern, Sarah. I'll prepare myself mentally for the weekend.
Just, please don't break off our engagement because of my dad. I'll defend you if he says anything. Just don't start hating me because of him.
Hey, come on now. Don't worry, Sarah. Nothing your dad says will change how I feel about you.
Really? You promise? Even if he's horrible to you?
Really. The introduction is for him to get to know me and understand how serious we are about getting married. Once he sees that, I'm sure even a difficult father will come around. I'll do my best to win him over.
Thank you, David. You're too good to me.
Actually, I'm more worried about your mom. Is she similar to your dad? Dealing with two difficult parents at once might be tough.
Oh, don't worry about Mom. She actually really likes you already.
Really? How come? We haven't even met.
I've told her all about you, about how kind you are and how well you cook. She said I found myself a perfect man.
That's such a relief. At least one parent is on our side.
Mom's been trying to convince Dad to be nice, but you know how it goes.
Not well, I'm guessing.
He just dismissed her completely, said she doesn't understand man's business.
Yikes, that's pretty bad.
Welcome to my world, but seriously, please don't let him get to you.
I won't, I promise. Though I am curious, what exactly did you tell your mom about me?
Only the good stuff. How you always make me laugh, how you support my career.
And the cooking?
She actually got excited about that, said it was refreshing to see a man who isn't bound by gender roles.
Your mom sounds pretty progressive.
She is. When Dad's not around, it's like she becomes a different person.
That's sad. It also gives me hope. Maybe we can help her be more herself.
Maybe. That would be amazing. She deserves it.
Well, let's do our best this weekend. I'm counting on your support.
Always. Just remember, I love you no matter what happens.
Get out of my house. I would never give my daughter to someone like you. Break off the engagement and disappear from her life, understood?
Mr. Brown, why are you throwing me out? I barely stepped into the entrance. Did I do something wrong?
Having someone like you enter my house is wrong enough. A deadbeat loser wanting to marry my daughter? Who would ever allow that?
Deadbeat? Wait, are you talking about me?
Who else is here? I'm dressed like an unemployed bum.
What? I'm wearing a proper suit. How is this dressed like a deadbeat?
I've worked in business for decades. A suit is a warrior's armor, and as someone who's lived for his work, I can tell. Even in a suit, you're clearly a soft, unemployed man.
What? This is a completely unfair judgment.
You think I can't tell? Your hands are too smooth. A real businessman's hands show the wear of constant work.
Are you seriously judging my employment status by my hands? That's...
Real working men wear suits naturally, but it doesn't suit you at all. That means you're not a proper working man.
What? This is actually kind of hurtful. I even got this custom made.
Custom made? How pretentious. A deadbeat like you must have bought some cheap suit just for today.
Sir, with all due respect, you're making baseless assumptions. I work at Green Assist Corporation.
Green Assist? Never heard of it. Probably some tiny startup.
Actually, it's one of our largest firms in our sector. I can show you my business card if you don't believe me.
Green Assist? That's one of our business partners.
Oh, that's so? Then you should know it's a reputable company.
Don't try to fool me. I worked for that company for years.
Then you should know they only hire qualified professionals.
Been to their office many times for meetings, but I've never seen you there. Trying to lie your way out? Too bad.
The company has over 500 employees. It's not surprising we haven't crossed paths.
A real businessman would know everyone in the industry.
That's not really feasible in modern corporate.
Silence! I worked with that company for years. I know their people.
I'm not lying. I can prove my employment.
It's all made up. My eyes can't be fooled. Today's youth are so easy to read.
Sir, I really think you're jumping to conclusions.
A scrawny guy like you couldn't possibly be working seriously. Look at those shoulders. No backbone.
My physical appearance has nothing to do with my professional capabilities.
In my day, men had presence, authority, power.
Times have changed, Mr. Brown. Success isn't measured by...
Success is success. It never changes. You're just making excuses.
I'm only telling the truth. I work hard and I'm passionate about my job. And I love Sarah. Please approve our marriage.
Anyone can say pretty words, but you can't prove anything. Pretentious deadbeat.
But I'm not...
As a father, I can't let my daughter be unhappy. That's why I decided this.
Sir, please give me a chance to...
I'll never give my daughter to a deadbeat. Come back after you find a proper job.
Understood. I hear you clearly.
Well, it's probably impossible. No company would hire a weak man like you.
No, I'll be back this Wednesday. Please look forward to it.
Wednesday? What nonsense is this?
I'll definitely get you to approve our marriage.
What? Coming back on a Wednesday? Typical unemployed behavior. Working people are busy on weekdays.
Again, I'm not unemployed. I'll prove it to you.
You think you can just show up whenever you want?
I have my reasons for choosing Wednesday.
You won't find a job by Wednesday no matter how hard you try.
It won't be necessary. You'll understand when I arrive.
Well, I'll look forward to it without expecting much. But I'm a working man, so I often come home late on weekdays.
That's fine. I can wait.
I might have to wait outside for hours. But as a man, you can handle waiting outside for hours, right?
Yes, I understand. I'll wait as long as it takes until you appear.
Brave words from a weakling. Don't come crying when it rains.
Weather won't be an issue. I'll be there.
Brave words. Let's see if you can back them up.
David, I just heard what happened. I am so sorry about Dad's behavior. Are you okay?
Don't worry about it. Wednesday will be interesting.
What do you mean? You're scaring me a little.
Trust me, everything will work out perfectly.
David, don't leave me hanging like that. What are you planning?
Nothing dangerous, I promise. Just a little revelation.
Well, now I'm really worried. Last time you said trust me like that.
Was when I surprised you with an engagement ring, right?
Yes, after making me think you'd forgotten our anniversary.
And it all worked out perfectly, didn't it?
Well, yes, but this is different. This is my dad we're talking about.
Let's just say your father might learn something interesting about his deadbeat future son-in-law.
David, please tell me you're not going to do anything crazy.
Define crazy.
David!
Relax, my love. Everything is under control.
That's exactly what makes me nervous. You never say that unless you're planning something big.
Your father gave me very specific instructions about Wednesday.
What instructions? What did he say to you?
Oh, just some advice about being a real man and waiting patiently.
I don't like the sound of that.
I'm just going to follow his instructions. Very, very carefully.
Why do I feel like there's more to this?
Because you know me too well.
At least tell me you won't do anything to make things worse.
On the contrary, I think Wednesday will improve everything.
You are impossible when you get like this.
Just trust me one more time, please.
Fine, but promise me you'll be careful.
Always am. How's your mom doing, by the way?
Still upset about how Dad treated you. She really wanted to meet you properly.
Oh, not to worry. There'll be plenty of time for that after Wednesday.
Now you've got Mom curious too. She keeps asking what you're planning.
Tell her to look forward to it.
You're enjoying this way too much.
Maybe a little, but your father did ask for it.
Just whatever you're planning, be safe, okay?
Promise. Now get some rest. Wednesday will be an interesting day.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep until then.
Sweet dreams, Sarah.
What's going on here? Why is everyone treating you like this?
Like what, Mr. Brown? Like a CEO?
What nonsense are you spotting now? Why are you introducing yourself as Green Assist CEO?
Oh, did no one tell you? Today is quite special.
Special? What do you mean special?
I explained in today's greeting, the previous CEO was my uncle. I've been serving as vice president supporting the company. And today, I finally inherited the company from my uncle.
You're our business partner's new CEO?
Surprising, isn't it? How a deadbeat could run a major corporation?
This must be some kind of joke.
Actually, my appointment as CEO has been planned for a while. That's why I scheduled this courtesy visits for today, Wednesday.
Courtesy visits?
Yes, meeting with our major business partners. Some not unemployed, but a proper business professional. I know to make appointments in advance.
But...
Who would have thought your company would be on my list? It was a perfect chance to prove I'm not unemployed.
Then why didn't you just say so from the start?
You didn't give me a chance to explain, did you? But it worked out. I thought I'd meet you during my visits.
You could have met me in the reception room.
Oh? But you were in a meeting. And you did tell me to stand and wait until you prepared. Just stood in the hallway for 2 hours until your meeting finished.
Do you know how much trouble you caused me?
Oh, did something happen? I was just following your instructions.
I was immediately called to the president's office. Even though the president offered you the reception room, you refused.
Well, yes. After all, you said, if you're a man, stand and wait. I was just trying to show my manly spirit.
Don't twist my words. Saying I was told to stand and wait, so I will. Who do you think you are? I got yelled at.
Well, you did tell me that. You were very specific about showing my manhood by waiting outside.
That's different. This is the workplace.
Oh, so your rules about being a man only apply at home?
Are you saying it's my fault? This is ridiculous.
When they asked who you thought you were, you could have told them I was your daughter's fiancé.
Well,
But you don't approve of our marriage, right? So I guess I'm not your daughter's fiancé. Just a lowly employee who got ordered around by business partner CEO.
I had no idea that you were the CEO. Never seen you at the company before.
Of course not. I usually accompany the previous CEO to various places, so I wasn't often at headquarters.
But surely someone should have told me.
Besides, Mr. Brown, you're just an employee. Of course you wouldn't meet the CEO or vice president of a business partner.
Just an employee?
Yes, exactly what you are. Unlike the deadbeat standing before you.
Well...
By the way, how's my suit today? Still look unemployed?
No, it looks very appropriate. Perfect for a CEO's inauguration.
Really? I'm so glad it finally suits me. Actually, This is the same suit I wore when I asked for your blessing the other day.
The same?
Yes, the one you said made me look unemployed. Guess I learned how to wear it properly in just a few days.
I sincerely apologize for my behavior the other day. I approve your marriage to my daughter. Please, let's get along from now.
Thank you for approving the marriage. However, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, but I have no intention of getting along with you.
What?
We've discovered our values and ways of thinking are quite different, so there's no need to force a relationship just because of the marriage.
But as family?
Family? Weren't you the one I said it wasn't worthy of being family?
That was before I knew.
Before you knew I had power over your company's biggest business partner. Is that what changed your mind?
Well,
That's better for you too, right? No need to associate with someone whose hands are too smooth.
Please, let's start over.
Now, I'll go tell Sarah the good news. She'll be happy to hear you approve the marriage. Excuse me. Sorry for taking up your time during a busy workday.
David, is it true? Did Dad really approve our marriage?
Yes, he did. Though perhaps not entirely willingly.
What happened exactly? The office is buzzing with rumors.
Let's just say your father learned an important lesson about making assumptions.
Someone said you stood in the hallway for 2 hours?
Just following your father's instructions about being a real man.
2 hours, though? In the main office hallway?
It did say I should wait outside to prove my manhood.
David, you didn't.
I did exactly what he asked. Very precisely.
The receptionist said even the president couldn't convince you to use the waiting room.
Well, your father was very clear about standing and waiting.
You're terrible, but I love it.
I just wanted to make sure I followed his instructions perfectly.
Dad must have been mortified.
He did seem rather uncomfortable when he finally emerged from his meeting.
Mom's going to love this story.
How was your mom doing?
She's been giggling ever since I told her about Dad getting called to the president's office.
What did you do to my family? Isn't getting my blessing enough?
Excuse me?
Are you that angry about my attitude the other day?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
When I got home from work, my wife said she wants a divorce. She says she can't take our marriage anymore.
What? Your wife asked for a divorce?
Don't act innocent. This has to be your doing.
I haven't even met your wife yet. How could this be my fault?
This is all your fault. Somehow my wife knows about what happened to the company today.
The company incident? That was between us.
She says she can't handle such embarrassing things anymore. You told her, didn't you?
No, you've got it wrong. I didn't do anything.
Don't lie. Then how does my wife know everything?
Because I told her, Dad, so don't blame David.
Sarah? Is that you?
Yes, it's me, and I told Mom everything.
How dare you? That was private.
Private? Like how you privately humiliated my fiancé?
That was different. I was protecting you.
Protecting me from what? A successful, kind man who loves me?
I didn't know he was...
Exactly. You don't know anything about him. You just jump to conclusions.
Please stop doing embarrassing things. What if David hates me and breaks off the engagement?
Now you're worried about that after how you treated him?
Hey, what kind of attitude is that towards your father?
The kind you deserve after how you've acted.
And why did you tell your mother unnecessary things?
Unnecessary? Mom deserved to know what kind of man she's married to.
You've caused serious problems between your father and mother.
No, Dad. You caused these problems, years and years of them.
This isn't my fault.
Really? Then whose fault is it? David's? Mom's? Mine?
You're all being unreasonable.
This isn't my fault. It's your own doing, Dad.
What did you say?
I said this is your fault. All of it.
How dare you speak to me like this?
I didn't want to tell Mom such embarrassing things either, but you kept being so rude to my fiancé despite being my father.
I was trying to protect you.
I couldn't take it anymore, so I told Mom. I said once I marry David, I am cutting ties with my family.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me. I'll never return to a house with such a terrible father.
Don't be ridiculous. Even after marriage, you're still our daughter.
Being your daughter doesn't mean I have to accept your behavior.
Visiting your parents regularly after marriage is basic filial duty.
And being respectful to your daughter's chosen partner is basic parental duty.
Well, that's...
I'm at my limit of being embarrassed to be your daughter.
Embarrassed? Of me?
Yes, always acting superior and looking down on others, making assumptions about today's youth being stubborn and difficult when you're wrong.
That's not true.
Mom and I can't take it anymore. That's why Mom decided to divorce you.
Can't take it. How?
Even if I have children, I won't let them meet you.
You can't do that.
Watch me. I won't return home after marriage, and I might not even tell you when children are born.
Your mother would never allow that.
That's exactly why she's leaving. She says she'd rather leave you than never see her grandchildren and daughter.
He's being dramatic.
No, she's finally being honest, for the first time in years.
This is just temporary. She'll calm down.
She's already looking at apartments, Dad.
What?
She's serious this time. We both are.
Please, David. I need your help.
Mr. Brown? I thought we agreed not to contact each other.
Please, help me convince my daughter and wife. As a man, you'll take my side, right?
Huh? You haven't divorced yet.
Of course not. I'm close to retirement age. A divorce at this age would be humiliating.
So, you're only thinking about yourself again.
What do you mean? This affects the whole family.
The family you've been mistreating for years?
I absolutely won't divorce my wife. Sarah won't help mediate, so you're my only hope.
No, I have no power here.
Well, my daughter will listen to you. She respects you.
Unlike how you respect your wife?
Please tell her to help mediate between me and my wife.
That's not my place.
Because you directly asked my wife to reconsider the divorce.
I haven't even met her properly yet.
As a man, you must understand how I feel.
Your feelings, Mr. Brown.
Everything I did was for my family. Living only for work was to support them.
Was it really for them or for your ego?
Even opposing your marriage at first was for my daughter's happiness.
By making her cry? By insulting her choice?
But now I'm being misunderstood and faced with divorce. As a fellow man, don't you think that's pitiful?
No, not at all.
Because you're half-hearted about everything as a man.
What did you say?
You don't understand the responsibility of being a real man.
A real man? Like making your wife miserable for decades?
I supported them, gave them everything.
You say you live for work to support your family, but you chose to marry and have children yourself.
Of course I did. That's what men do.
Didn't you marry your wife prepared for the responsibility?
I took all the responsibility. I worked while she stayed at home.
It was so hard, you could have asked her to work too.
Working wives? That would have been embarrassing.
Embarrassing for whom? Your wife or your ego?
Unlike now, housewives were the norm back then.
What era are you talking about? Were you born in 1920?
Things were different in my time.
Dual income households are already normal in your time.
Not in my social circle.
My parents both worked. While some families had stay-at-home moms, everyone seemed happy.
It's different.
The economy was better than now, and there were various tax benefits.
You don't understand the pressure.
You're the only one complaining about how hard it was to support your family.
Are you calling me an incompetent man?
I wouldn't go that far, but you are half-hearted.
Half-hearted? Me?
You say you opposed the marriage for your daughter's sake, but that's not true.
Everything I did was for Sarah.
You just refused to listen to Sarah and me. You opposed based on your prejudices and assumptions.
I was protecting her.
I can't understand the feelings of a foolish, stubborn father like you.
How dare you? Is this how you talk to your fiancé's father?
What about you? Is this how you treat a business partner CEO?
That's different.
Sarah says she'll never see you again after divorcing her mother.
It doesn't mean that.
She'll become a stranger to you. Then you'll just be a stranger to me too.
You can't do this.
Out of final sympathy, I won't tell Sarah about this contact.
Wait, please.
So please, handle your own mess like a man. Excuse me.
David, did my father try to contact you today?
Why do you ask?
He's been desperate lately. Mom's already looking at apartments.
Has he tried talking to you directly?
He keeps sending these long messages about family duty and respecting elders.
And?
I've blocked his number.
It must be hard for you.
Honestly, it's liberating. Mom seems happier too.
How is she doing?
She's smiling more, actually making plans for herself.
That's wonderful to hear.
She's even talking about taking art classes.
Really? That's great.
Dad always said it was a waste of time, but now...
Now she's free to be herself.
Exactly. Mom's finally settled into her new apartment.
That's wonderful news. How are you feeling?
Relieved, honestly. It's like a weight's been lifted off both of us.
And your mom?
She's like a different person. You should see her, David.
Different how?
She's smiling all the time, making plans. She even bought new clothes.
That's fantastic. And your father?
Last I heard, he took early retirement. The office rumors about making the new CEO wait in the hallway were too much for him.
Not my intention, but
Oh, please, it was totally your intention. You're just too polite to admit it.
I merely followed instructions precisely.
Sure you did. Mom's still laughing about that story.
I'm glad it brought some joy to her.
She says you're her hero, the man who finally showed Dad he wasn't all-powerful.
I just did what needed to be done.
By standing in a hallway for 2 hours?
Hey, your real father said that's what real men do.
You're impossible, but that's exactly why I love you.
Ready to plan our wedding? Just us and your mom?
Yes, Mom's already calling wedding planners. She's more excited than I am.
And the suit for the wedding?
Please tell me you're not wearing that suit.
Of course I am. It's my lucky suit now.
The deadbeat suit? Really?
It's got a great story behind it now.
Mom says you should frame it after the wedding.
That's actually not a bad idea.
You're impossible. But that's why I love you.
Love you too. Here's to our fresh start.
Mom wants to know if we can go venue shopping this weekend.
Of course. Any preferences?
Something modern. Definitely not Dad's stuffy country club.
I know just the place. Beautiful rooftop garden, amazing city views.
Perfect. Mom will love that. She's finally free to enjoy things without Dad's constant complaints.
How's she doing in her new place?
She loves it. It's that cute apartment complex near the park.
The one with the art studio in the community center?
Yes, she already signed up for painting classes.
That's wonderful. When does she start?
Next week. She's so excited buying all these art supplies.
Your mom's quite brave starting fresh like this.
She says we inspired her. Seeing you stand up to Dad made her realize she could too.
I'm honored to have helped, even if it wasn't intentional.
Oh, it was totally intentional, Mr. I'll just wait in the hallway.
Guilty as charged. It all worked out for the best, didn't it?
More than I could have imagined. Free from Dad's toxicity, planning our wedding, Mom living her best life.
Speaking of the wedding, should we hire security? Just in case your father tries to crash it?
Already handled. Mom suggested it first.
Smart woman, your mother.
She really is. Can't believe Dad never saw it.
His loss, our gain.
To new beginnings.
And better endings.
I love you so much.
Love you more. Can't wait to start a life together.
Without any toxic masculinity or outdated values.
Just us being ourselves.
Perfect. You know, my mom says you're more of a real man than Dad ever was.
Really? I think I might cry.
Save it for the wedding.
Speaking of which, have you chosen your dress yet?
Mom and I are going shopping next weekend. Want to come?
Isn't it bad luck for the groom to see the dress?
Since when do we care about traditional rules?
Good point. Got me in.
Perfect. Just like you.
Later, Sarah contacted me saying, my parents finally divorced. Don't worry, that terrible father won't be invited to our wedding. We had the wedding ceremony with only Sarah's mother present and successfully registered our marriage. As for Mr. Brown, rumors spread around his company about angering a business partner's CEO and making him stand in the hallway mocking his suit. The workplace became quite uncomfortable for him. Eventually, his superior recommended early retirement, and now he lives a lonely life in his old age.